Hello. Thank you so much for joining me today for Yoga for PMS Relief. Now, you probably clicked this video because you have suffered from some of the issues that bother us at this time of the month. It can be really uncomfortable. Yoga is a natural way to ease the PMS symptoms, and I think you all know what I'm talking about. Cramps that are really painful, changes in mood, irritability, retaining water, bloating, cravings. All I can think about is eating all the chocolate all the time at that time. So there are lots of things that our bodies are going through at this time, and it's really not fun. It can be really difficult to even go to work when you're feeling so uncomfortable in your own body. So thankfully, we have yoga to help us reduce stress by providing relief in specific postures. Now, I knew that there were some postures that were helpful to relieve the PMS symptoms, but I didn't really know why. So I wanted to share it with you after doing some research. And while researching, I found a really great article. I've included the link in the text description of this video if you want to read the full article. But basically, this article is telling why these certain postures that I've picked to share with you today are helpful and what they help to relieve or reduce at this time of the month. So that article was on yogabasics.com, and again, the link is in the text description of this video. So starting our practice today, we are going to come into a reclined position, Supta Baddha Konasana. So this is our reclined bound angle. So as you set yourself up, you're going to want to bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees splay out. This posture is beneficial in this time because it's a gentle way to open up the hips. Now, once you have your legs positioned, just lean back, set yourself up so that you can bring your shoulders, your head, your entire back onto the mat. You might find a little natural lift at the low back. If you feel tightness at the front of the hips, you can take a block underneath each thigh, or if you don't have blocks, you can make fists with your hands and position the fist underneath your thighs. Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle. An opportunity to gently get into the hips. We're going to be exploring the hips a few more times in our practice today, but we'll just gently come in, and at the same time, we let ourselves just ground down. If the hands aren't supporting the thighs, you might bring your hands to your belly so that you can take this time to bring awareness to your breath and how you're breathing in this moment. As you inhale, feel the belly rise. And as you exhale, feel the belly soften. Continue to notice your breath. And with each new exhalation, just take a sigh of relief. Knowing that we're going to bring relief to our body and all that it's going through at this time of the month. And take another full round of breath. And then bring your hands outside of your thighs, gently guide your knees together. Let the soles of the feet meet the mat, and as they do, extend the left leg. So the left heel comes down to the mat. From here, we'll lift that right knee, and as you lift the right knee, bring it in towards your right shoulder rather than into your chest. Interlace the fingers, take your palms to your shin. Now, pull the right knee towards the shoulder. This is called wind relieving pose. This posture is going to be really beneficial to help us reduce bloating, that uncomfortable feeling of extra weight. So as you continue to pull that right knee towards your right shoulder, you can draw circles with your big toe. getting some ankle mobility at the same time. And then circle around opposite direction. Continue to pull that right knee towards the right shoulder. And before we take that on the other side, we're going to incorporate a spinal twist, which is going to help aid us in digestion. So we'll let that right arm open out. Left hand comes over to the outside of the right thigh. And we gently guide the right knee over to the left as we practice keeping the right shoulder down. Just find your breath. And on your next inhale, lift your right knee, roll onto your back. Release the left hand, let the right foot meet the mat, and then slide the right heel down. So the right leg is now extended. Feel into the right leg. Feel into the left leg. You might note a little difference there. And then we'll set it up to come into the other side. So we'll bend the left knee, lift the left foot. Hands are looking for the shin, fingers interlace. Now pulling the left knee towards the left shoulder. Wind relieving pose, an opportunity to reduce bloat. Here we can circle the left toe around. And then opposite direction. Continue to pull that left knee in towards the left shoulder. Let the foot relax. And then from here, we'll release that left arm, open it out, let it ground down. And take the right hand to the outside of the left thigh. Gently guide the left knee over to the right. Left shoulder stays down. Notice how your body feels in this shape. Release the right hand, and as you inhale, lift the left knee up, roll onto the back. Left foot meets the mat. Now, straighten both legs. Give yourself a moment to feel into the left leg. Feel into the right leg. Exhale, big sigh of relief. Now bend the knees. Bring your heels towards your glutes. As you bring your heels towards your glutes, extend your arms by your side. See if your fingertips can graze your heels. Know that we're setting up for bridge pose. This posture is going to help us with hormonal issues and is going to help us to gently energize. So sometimes we are a little fatigued, lacking a little energy at this time of the month. So by coming into bridge pose, we can find some energy, also opening the front of the body and tackling those hormonal issues. So as we inhale, we'll lift the hips, press them up. So we're at a diagonal from our shoulders to our knees. Now from here, we can take our hands under our body, roll the shoulders under, continue to lift the hips. Now, if you don't want to hold the hips up, you can take a block under your sacrum and take a supported bridge instead. This is totally up to you. We've got one more round of breath here. Exhale, slowly roll the shoulders out from under the body and slowly roll down from the top of the spine, bone by bone, all the way down to the tailbone. Once we get there, we'll take a full round of breath, inhaling through the nostrils. Exhale, take a big sigh of relief. Let it go. Extend the legs. So now we're setting up for fish pose. So fish pose is one that I just wanted to incorporate myself because for me, it really helps to open the heart, which I find helps with any extra emotion, which we know we definitely feel at this time of the month. And also it helps to open up not only the heart, but it gets the stress from between the shoulder blades, where a lot of us accumulate stress there. So we'll come into it by taking the right hand under the right glute, left hand under the left glute. Then we'll lift the upper arms, come onto the crown of the head, so the forearms are grounded. Again, you can hold yourself up here, or you can take a block at the mid-height underneath the shoulder blades. So you would want to position that from your mid to upper back, not on your neck. Keep opening your big, beautiful heart. We'll squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other, squeezing away stress and tension. And on your next exhale, rotate the head coming off the crown. Take the elbows out, coming onto the back, and then slide the hands out from under the glutes one at a time. Now from here, we are going to change the station of our body from reclined to seated. So to get there, we've got a couple options. You can roll over onto one side and transition to your seat, or you can take your hands under your knees, lift your tailbone, and roll up. So as you roll up, know that we're coming into a seated forward fold. This is known as Paschimottanasana. Extend your legs, and as you extend your legs, you might take your right hand to pull the flesh back from the right glute, and then try that on the left side. So forward fold is one of my favorites at this time of the month because for me, it really stretches the low back. And I find that the low back can get really uncomfortable, particularly if we've got a lot of bloating going on and extra weight in the front of the body. So to come into our Paschimottanasana, our seated forward fold, inhale, lift the fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Now we're going to let this be a passive stretch. So rather than reaching, grabbing, or pulling at the feet or the legs, just let your arms rest. You don't need to grab the ankles. You don't need to grab the feet. Doesn't matter how far you fold. What matters here is that you're feeling sensation in the back. Now, if your hamstrings are really tight, you can take blocks under the knees or your forearms. That way, this stretch is focused entirely on your back. Now, really important here, let the head and the neck relax. The more you can relax the head and the neck, the more sensation you're going to feel in the back space. You might even feel a stretch at the hips. Now come back to your breath, and with each exhale, see if you can fold a little deeper. Just simply melting your torso towards your legs. Continue to fold, continue to breathe. And this is one of those postures where you might want to stay longer. If so, let yourself go for it. You can always make it restorative by placing a pillow between your torso and your legs. And when you're ready, we'll start to come out. Inhale, slowly rolling up. Finding our straight spine, crown of the head rises up. Now we're going to come into another seated posture, but this time we're going to open the feet away from each other. So think about bringing your heels towards the edges of the mat, or you can open your legs much wider if you want, if you're ready for that. So instead of opening the feet the width of the mat at the narrow way, you can open your feet the lengthwise of the mat. So just notice how this feels. Actually, I want to incorporate another one just here on the moment. Wide-legged forward fold is awesome to stretch the inner thighs, where I have read through research that this is where we store the emotion of anger. So sometimes we can get angry when we're irritable at this time of the month. So if that's an issue for you, then you might take a few rounds of breath to just fold forward, wide-legged forward fold. Letting the emotion of anger, irritability, frustration go. Again, we want to let the head and the neck relax. If your back has been really tight, you'll feel a nice stretch at the back. This one feels so good. Definitely find myself getting irritable sometimes at this time of the month, so this one always feels really good in my physical body. So as you explore each posture, know that you can take as much time as you want or need. You can always pause the video, stay longer, and then come back when you're ready. And then moving together, inhale, we'll lift the crown of the head. All right, now coming into our head to knee pose, we're gonna bend one knee. So we wanna bring the sole of the foot to the inner thigh of the other leg. And what we're gonna do is we're going to lean over towards this extended leg. So you can take your forearm to the inside of the leg, opposite arm reaches up. Now, I find this is a really great way to get into the side body. So I feel like I can create space where I feel tight and congested. You could even reach your arm overhead if you're ready to go deeper. So that's going to be a really deep, deep, deep stretch in the side body. Now, if you rather feel into the hamstring, you can rotate your torso towards your straight leg, and as you exhale, fold. So think about your belly and your chest coming towards your leg. To go deeper, you can take your right hand to the outside of your left foot and then bend your elbow so you're getting more of a twist, and you might feel sensation going up the straight leg into the hip. So try the options. What is your body like? I like both, so I want to spend a little time in both of them. I love these deep stretches, deep openers. I feel like my body benefits so much from it. And wherever you are, inhale, rise up. We're just going to switch it up. Take it to the other side. Opposite leg extends. And then sole of the foot finds the inner thigh of the straight leg. So finding our options here, maybe we take the forearm down to the inside of the straight leg, reaching the fingers up, checking on our side body on this side. Maybe we go deeper, reaching the arm overhead, if we're ready for that, if we want that. Or maybe we take the second option of rotating the torso towards the leg. So think about your belly and your chest moving and folding towards your leg. And if you want to go deeper, that left hand is going to reach for the pinky side of the right foot. Give a little twist, deepen the stretch of the straight leg. So here you can target lots of different areas of your body. This is where you find some free exploration to find what your body needs today. Let yourself modify whenever you're ready. And then inhale, rise up, come out. All right, now we are going to change the station of our body from seated to belly down. We're going to set it up to come into cobra pose. So we're taking cobra pose because it helps us to stretch the abs, open the front of the body, and create a little more space there. So coming onto your hands and knees, then bend your elbows lower down so you can bring your belly and your thighs to the mat. Once you're there, take your hands underneath your shoulders. We'll start by inhale, lift the head, lift the chest, gaze forward, and then exhale, lower down. This time we'll go a little deeper. So let's slide the hands towards the ribs, a little lower than the shoulders. On the next inhale, lift the chest, lift the belly, straighten the arms. Now feel the stretch at the abs. Feel the shoulders go back. Shoulder blades are coming towards each other. Again, squeezing away stress and tension. And then on your next exhale, bend the elbows, lower down. Take the hands underneath the shoulders, taking a counter stretch, extend the arms, lift the hips. Now we're going to take it back to child's pose. So the hips come back to the heels. And child's pose is going to serve us in this practice because it helps us to get rid of headaches and moodiness. Two things that we just really don't want to deal with. So as you come into your child's pose, let your forehead meet the mat. Let your fingertips reach forward. Find your breath. Just relax into it. If you've been feeling anxious, this is an awesome posture to reduce anxiety. Again, this is a pose where you can stay as long as you'd like. If you suffer from insomnia, this is going to be a great one for you to practice for a few minutes before going to bed at night. It's a very grounding posture. It helps us to stabilize our emotions. It allows us to become internal and observe ourselves. Now on the next inhale, we'll start to come out. We'll lift the hips, shift forward, come into a neutral tabletop position. Now from here, we often take cat-cow, but today we're going to just take cat, which means we're going to lift our back up. The reason why we're focusing just on cat is to help relieve cramps. Take an inhale breath. And as you exhale, lift your upper back as if you're trying to tap the ceiling. Now stay here. Arms are strong, arms are straight. Palms are pressing the mat away. Continue to stay here. Feel all the space between the shoulder blades. Hold, breathe. Remember this one whenever cramps are bothering you. And let's see if we can take one more full round of breath here. Soften, let it go. Now from here, we're going to come into lizard lunge with the knee down. So stepping the left foot forward, press the hips forward so that you can get your left knee tracking above your left ankle, and then you want your hands in line with your left foot. So this is an opportunity to get into the hips even deeper than when we first started. So what I like to do here is I like to rock the hips from side to side. That feels really good for my hips. You might even let that left knee splay out. So if the left knee is splaying out, you're getting external rotation for the left hip. And at the same time, stretching the front of the right hip. Let's see how that feels on the other side. Slide the left foot back, left knee in line with the right, and then lift the right foot, step it outside of the right hand. Make sure the knee is tracking above the ankle. Hands are in line with the right foot. Take your option here. Maybe you slowly rock the hips from side to side. Maybe that left knee splays out. Finding the external rotation, sinking the hips down towards the mat. Happy, happy hips. I feel like hips need attention every day. And then from here, we'll come out. This time, instead of taking that right foot back, we're going to curl the left toes, step the left foot outside of the left hand. Inhale, let's take a half lift. And then exhale, just enjoy a fold. And we'll soften the knees and we'll gently start to roll up. So we're coming into a standing pose. We're coming into Tadasana. And from here, we're going to look down to our feet and we're going to align the feet underneath the hips. You can start with your hands at your hips and then we'll step that right foot way back and rotate the back foot to 90 degrees. So we're setting up for warrior two. So our toes are facing opposite directions. Now when we look down to our feet, we can align our heels or we can align the front heel with the arch of the back foot. Warrior two, arms reach out, fingers are reaching in opposite directions. Now, why would we take warrior two when we're trying to relieve PMS? The reason why is because it opens the hips and the abs, so coming back to creating space, and it's an energizing posture, so helping us to fight that fatigue, that lethargic kind of moodiness that we've got going on. But also it helps us to increase mental focus and helps to ground the emotions, lots of things that we need in this time. So in this pose, really digging the front feet into the mat and the pinky side of the back foot, as if you're trying to rip the mat apart. And gaze is going to be to your front middle finger. This is a strong posture. Feel the strength in the legs. Feel how powerful you are. Even though we might feel crappy because we have PMS, we're powerful, we're women. We can create life. There's so much strength. Enjoy your body. Whether you decide to create life or not, you've got a strong, phenomenal body that allows you to do so many things. Exhale, lower the hands down. Straighten the left leg. Turn the left toes same direction as the right. Now face the opposite direction. So rotating the right toes, bending the right knee. Right knee is tracking above the right ankle. Now pressing to the pinky side of the left foot and into the right toes. Arms rise up. Warrior two, strong posture. Gaze is to the front middle finger. Now, even if you might not dig this pose, think about all the benefits. Opening the hips, the abs, finding mental focus, clarity, energizing yourself and grounding the emotions. This posture has so much to offer. Feel the strength. Know that you're a goddess. And let's take another round of breath here. Inhale through the nostrils. And as you exhale, let the hands go. Press into that right foot. Rotate the toes same direction as the left. And then start to heel toe the feet towards each other. Now come to the top of the mat. From here, we're going to ground back down. So inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Let the hands connect to the mat. Bend the knees. Take one foot back, then the other. So we're coming back into our setup for tabletop as we did before. Now we're going to come into pigeon. This is going to be a much deeper hip opener. So to set up for our pigeon, let's take the right knee behind the right wrist. Right foot comes to the left side of the mat. Extend the left leg, look behind you. Make sure your leg is straight, including your foot. Now, this might be enough for you here. You might already feel a deep enough stretch at the right hip. If so, feel free to stay here. If you want to go deeper, you can walk the hands further out, open the elbows, stack one hand on top of the other to make a pillow for your forehead. Now, bring all of your attention to your breath. This posture is beneficial because not only do we get a nice deep hip stretch, hip opener, but the hips are known to be the area of the body where we store emotion, suppressed emotion. And we know that we're certainly emotional this time of the month. So this is an opportunity to let that emotion go, release it from stagnation, and let it shift up and out of the body. Let it go, let it go. With each exhale, think about sinking the heart down to the mat. Deep, deep stretch. We'll slowly start to make our way out. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale, press the palms to the mat. All right, we're ready to come into the other side. So together, we're going to lift the hips, slide the right knee back. To set it up on the other side, we bring the left knee behind the left wrist, left foot to the right side of the mat. Extend the right leg, including the foot. Now feel into this side. It is very possible that this side may feel different than the other, so you might need a totally different setup. So feel it out. Come into it in your way, in your time. And with each exhale, practice softening. Bring all of your attention to your breath and visualize your exhalation breath traveling into your left hip. If you feel tension in the arms, send the elbows further out. Let the chest melt down. Now slowly preparing to come out. Lift the head. Walk the hands towards the body. We'll slide that left knee back. And then from here, send the hips towards the heels. All right, so we just have one more offering, and this is going to be your choice out of two postures. We've got legs up the wall if you've got a wall space, and or Shavasana. So I'm going to demonstrate with legs up the wall. You are totally welcome to come into Shavasana instead. If you don't know what that is our resting pose that we take at the end of our practice to integrate the work that we've done through our practice. So it's an opportunity to be present with ourselves and soak in all the goodness from our movement and our postures. Now, if you'd like to take a gentle inversion, I'll demonstrate legs up the wall. So you need a wall space, and what you want to do is bring one side of your body up to the wall and then rotate onto your back and send the legs up the wall. So you want to scoot your glutes as close as you can to the wall. And then just let the arms ground down. Now this would be if you want a gentle inversion. However, at this time of the month, for some of us that doesn't feel good, especially more advanced inversions like headstand or handstand can be really uncomfortable. So this is a gentle opportunity to find your inversion. So now that I'm taking this option at the wall, I'm feeling like I'd rather transition back to Shavasana. And that might be the case for you too. You might try both of them and think, you know what? The other one was really resonating with me. So it's good to try our options and see what our body really wants today. And that's all we really need to do is listen to our body. The body is very smart. The body can give you information quicker than your mind can analyze and process. So come back to this information that your body's telling you, and then let yourself ground down. Oftentimes when we feel emotional, out of balance, out of whack, cranky, we just need to ground. There are lots of different ways and techniques that you can ground down, and this is one of them. Just simply taking the time to let your body be heavy, to let yourself fully relax, giving yourself permission to be here now. This time of the month is a great time to slow down, to take time off for self-care. When our body is uncomfortable, it's for a reason. It's telling us, hey, slow down, pay attention. I need relief. And this practice is all about that, bringing relief to your body at this really important, and for a lot of people, regular time of the month. Know that you can always come back to this practice anytime you need relief. Allow yourself to stay in this comfortable position for as long as you'd like. We'll close our practice here together. It's bringing our palms to meet, thumbs to the heart center. Inhale, feel the chest rise. Exhale, feel the chest soften. Inhale, taking in this moment for you. Exhale, let go of everything else. Continue to connect with your breath. Continue to take care of yourself. It's my honor to be here guiding you today. Namaste. And if you enjoyed today's practice, please feel free to click the subscribe button and continue to follow my classes, and feel free to leave comments for what you're looking for, what you'd like. I love to create things based on your needs. I hope you have a beautiful, restful day. See you next time.